There we go. Thank you. Good morning, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students and their family and friends. I'm Dr. George Folk, the director of the Doctor of Physical Therapy program here at Emory University, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to the white coat ceremony for the Doctor of Physical Therapy class of 2027. The faculty and staff of the DPT program are thrilled to be able to celebrate this moment with you, your families, and classmates. I personally am especially excited to be a part of this celebration that is an important milestone along your personal journey to becoming a physical therapist. The white coat ceremony is a relatively new phenomenon in health professions education, having originated in the early 1990s. Well, I guess I'm dating myself when I say that's early, but maybe not quite as early for some of you. It symbolizes a student's transition from learning basic science content to the clinical sciences. In our program, the curriculum is integrated such that we teach basic sciences along with some of the clinical sciences. Therefore, we typically celebrate this ceremony upon the completion of your first rigorous semester in the program. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Kathleen Geist, our interim assistant program director, who will introduce our guest speaker.
The faculty and staff are thrilled to have this wonderful opportunity to invite your parents, friends, and family to campus. And it's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Ryan Toven. Dr. Toven is a proud alumnus of Emory University and is an adjunct associate professor in the Department of Rehabilitation, Emory School of Medicine. Dr. Toven received a Master's of Medical Science degree in Orthopedic Physical Therapy in 1992 and a Doctor of Physical Therapy degree in 2002 from Emory University. He's a fellow of the American Academy of Orthopedic Manual Physical Therapists and is a board-certified sports physical therapist. Dr. Toven completed a prestigious manual therapy residency under Geoffrey Maitland in South Australia. In 1995, he founded the Sports Rehabilitation Center and is the current owner with 4 sites in the metro Atlanta area. Dr. Toven has served as the Director of Rehabilitation for the Georgia Tech athletic teams and was selected as the head athletic trainer for the aquatics venue at the 1996 Olympic Games here in Atlanta. Additionally, Dr. Toven, in honor of his father, Ian, established a scholarship for exceptional Emory graduates pursuing post-professional orthopedic physical therapy residency programs. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Toven as our keynote guest speaker today.
Thank you very much. I'd first like to thank Dr. Folk and Dr. Geist and the rest of the Emory faculty for inviting me to speak at this joyous occasion, and what a milestone it is for all of you. I'd like to congratulate you on what's the first step in what's going to be a really exciting journey for you. I'd also like to congratulate the family and your friends that have come here to celebrate with you. I know personally it takes a village, so you deserve a lot of credit for producing a great physical therapy student and someone who's going to embark on the profession and do great things. Being back here brings back a lot of memories. As they mentioned, I got my transitional DPT degree here over 20 years ago, and I remember walking across this very stage, carrying my newborn son, Alex, and to get my transitional degree, and it was really exciting. But I'm very old, as you can tell, and my relationship with Emory started back over 30 years ago when I came to Atlanta from the north to get my Master of Medical Science degree. Many of you don't realize that back then you can get your physical therapy degree as an undergrad, which I did at Boston University, but I was motivated by Emory to come back and get an advanced degree. And then after being in practice and starting a family, I wanted to embrace what the physical therapy profession, the APTA, was heading towards with the DPT degree, so I came back and did that. So I want you all to recognize that not only are you at one of the most prestigious universities in the country, but also one of the top physical therapy programs as well. Emory has a long history of producing the leaders, as you can see, in the profession at the APTA level. And I hope you take advantage of the resources that you have here. I'm going to start off by letting you know that I want to offer some insights that you can take home with you, and what I consider my secret sauce, if you will, that I think are essentials to being successful in our profession and beyond. And I'm going to start off with the first ingredient, which is what I refer to as the triangle of success. At the base of the triangle are two qualities. One is your skill set or your talent, and on the other side is the drive, the determination, the want. Now, make no mistake about it, skill set is something that can be taught. It's something that you can be exposed to, you can work on. But conversely, you really can't teach want or desire or passion. You've gotten to this point because you have that talent and that passion. Do not lose it. The last part of the triangle is the apex, and that is what I refer to as mentorship or coaching. And I'm going to draw a parallel between the sports world and the academic world. And I think most coaches out there would agree that they'd rather have somebody that has 75% talent and 100% desire versus someone who has 100% talent and almost no desire. So the point of that is just make sure that you don't let the desire diminish, and make sure that you are exposing yourself to good mentorship. So what does this passion and determination look like in the physical therapy profession? To me, it's someone who is committed to continuous learning, who's willing to go the extra step, reading journal articles, listening to podcasts, engaging in clinical dialogue, going to conferences. These are things that I can observe very easily when I'm interviewing a prospective employee, and I see that they have that passion. And those are really important traits to have. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about with the triangle is the mentorship. And I'm going to go back to the athletic world, where there's a lot of people that have a skill set or a talent and also have the drive and determination. But it's when you add that last ingredient of mentorship or coaching in this case, and anybody who's watched the Olympics knows, I was a former college swimmer, so I'm going to use swimming. Michael Phelps had a coach named Bob Bauman. Without Bob Bauman, Michael Phelps, he would have been a great swimmer, but probably not to the apex where he was. And in his previous Olympics, there was a French person named Leon Marchand, who also really established himself as one of the premier swimmers in history. Ironically, even though he was French, also had the same coach as Michael Phelps. The point being is, there are people out there, and whether it's looking at the coaching tree of the Nick Sabans of the world, or in our profession, looking at the professors you have here at Emory and how many people they've influenced, you have to make sure, if you want to go far in this profession, identify a mentor. To me, it's probably one of the most key elements in advancing yourself, but also it's probably one of the most underutilized resources that we have in this profession. I was fortunate enough to have several mentors along the way, and I think they changed my professional life. And as you go through your educational process, and even when you go out there in the profession, you're going to ask yourself some things. Do I want to learn more clinical skills? Am I more interested in maybe pursuing clinical research? Do I want to write or publish? Maybe I want to teach. If the answer to this is yes, I will tell you that unequivocally, finding a mentor is one of the key elements. I did it as an undergrad. I had a professor, and she was not only well-known and well-published, but I realized that she had a reputation in the profession that I wanted to follow her. And she introduced me to people along the way. She was actually instrumental in me choosing to come here to Emory. When I came to Emory, I was fortunate enough to meet Dr. Wolf, who mentored me in research, taught me how to write. That's a story in itself, and I wish Steve was here to hear it, but any of you know Dr. Wolf, probably one of the leaders in our profession. He gave me opportunities not only as a graduate student, but after being a graduate student, to write and to publish. In addition to having Steve, I went over to Australia and I studied over there and had a clinical mentor. And most importantly, it helped me to define what direction I wanted to go clinically. And I had a lot of people to sound off of. One of my first jobs was with some therapists who were not only well known, but they were doing continuing education around the country. They asked me or gave me the opportunity to be a lab instructor. Who gets a chance to do that after you've been out for a few years? And I did that, and that led to doing more teaching. So I would ask you to, as you go along your pathway and you start establishing where you want to be, start identifying mentors now. Don't wait. It will open up so many doors for you. Now let's talk about the second ingredient of my secret sauce. And I think this is going to make anyone probably one of the most desirable candidates, not only in the clinic, but wherever you go. And I think this is something that is just a life lesson. And I refer to it as rowing the boat. Anyone who's seen Boys in the Boat or watched or seen Crew or knows about it, recognizing for the boat to move smoothly and efficiently through the water, everyone has an oar, and they have to use that oar correctly and efficiently, or else the boat's going to just zigzag and not be as efficient. Failure to use your oar can make for a really rough ride. Our clinic functions like a boat, and in this case, I use OAR as an acronym. The O for OAR stands for ownership. And during the interview, anytime I meet with somebody, I explain to them what ownership means. Ownership of your patient interaction. What does that mean, Brian? Show them that you care by listening and spending time with them. There's a statement, and it might sound cheesy, but I love it. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'll say it again. Nobody cares how much you know until they first know how much you care. And that's essential when you get out there and you're forming relationships with your patients. You need to take ownership of your schedule of your patients. What do I mean by that? If your patient doesn't show up, or if they're on the phone to cancel, speak to the patient, talk to them. Don't delegate a tech or your front office to speak to them. They're your patient. Find out what's going on. It'll show that you care. It'll show that you're interested. It's taking ownership of your patient population. And lastly, with ownership, you're going to have to take ownership of your clinical choices. This needs to be based on sound clinical reasoning and evidence-based practice, something that you will get a lot of here at Emory. It's important to make sure that you understand what these clinical choices mean. It means discontinuing treatment or getting another opinion when a patient's not progressing or they're getting worse. It's asking yourself, is this something I feel comfortable treating? There's nothing wrong with being a little bit intimidated or not comfortable, and you need to go to either your clinical instructor or the clinic director and let them know that. You might be in a situation where you inherit a patient. Somebody left, and now you're seeing that patient, and you recognize, wow, this person has been seen for 30 or 40 visits. Sounds crazy, but it's out there. You need to take ownership of that and say, wait a minute, what's going on? For A, we're talking about accountability, and this really has to do with your actions. It's essential that you understand what's expected of you. I do it prior to anyone starting a job or an internship, so you know what you're accountable for. It's okay to make a mistake, but you have to be able to take responsibility or accountability for that mistake. Accept constructive criticism without getting defensive. It will help you learn. Meeting performance expectations and knowing what's expected of you and being accountable for that, not blaming anybody else. And also recognizing potential problems in the clinic and hopefully offering possible solutions. Those out in the workforce, whether it's physical therapy or anywhere else, value accountability. And the last one I want to talk about is the R, and that's responsiveness. I want to talk a little bit about a story about a doctor that was somewhat of a mentor to me, Dr. James Andrews. Dr. Andrews is probably one of the most well-known orthopedic surgeons, sports orthopedic surgeons in the world who recently retired. I met him in the 90s when I had a patient, and he told me to call him, and I called him, and he answered the phone. Not only that, anytime I ever called him after that, he called me back within a few hours at the latest. I thought I was special, but then I realized when I treated his patients, they said, oh no, he gives his phone number out to all his patients, all his clinicians. He wants what's best for them. He was responsive. And this was probably one of the most busiest people or orthopedists in the world, traveling all over. And he was responsive. That will go a long way. So with your patients, make sure you call them back in a timely manner. Follow through. Be available. I had a situation several months ago where a patient called me and they were post-op and they never got their home exercise videos. And they tried to reach out to their therapist and they emailed them and they didn't hear back. When I spoke to the therapist, and this was on a Friday, and they really needed to have the exercises over the weekend. When I spoke to the therapist on Monday, they said, you know, I don't answer professional emails over the weekend. That was my time. That concerned me because this is a patient that needed to have their exercise over the weekend. So just your life, and you're going to have to balance your professional and personal life, but just make sure you're responsive to your patients. Be responsive to your supervisor. Get it done. Let them know it was done. And if it wasn't done, that's okay too, but just let them know that. There's nothing more frustrating than wondering if a task that you asked someone to do was completed or not. And being responsive is such a valuable asset for someone who comes to the clinic. And I will tell you, if you listen to this and you even explain it in your interviews and say, this is a creed that I like to live by, they will adopt it because it will help to row the boat. So my take-home messages are this. Utilize the triangle of success to grow. Never stop developing your skill set. Like I said, I'm old and I've been out for a long time, probably, 35 years now. I still learn from other therapists. I still learn from my patients. Put your passion and your determination on display with your patients and your employer. They will see it. And I've noticed this observation over the past 35 years. It doesn't matter how many letters you have after your name. If you're not bonding with the therapist, with your patient and letting them know you care, you're really not going to provide the best outcomes for your patient. Lastly, on this, find a mentor. It's never too early. Learn, continue to learn. Choose your methods carefully. We are in a generation now that is social media savvy, and it's okay to look at TikTok and Instagram for some innovative exercises, but really try and adopt evidence-based practice rather than following a guru who may not even be a credentialed professional just to find some sexy exercises to do in the clinic. And lastly, find a setting or an environment that provides a culture that you can identify with and allows for adequate growth. This is probably my biggest take-home message, because the turnover that we've seen in the last few years, and I don't know whether it's due to COVID or some people say it's generational, but there is a lot of bit of turnover. My feeling, I like to believe in the positive. I think it has to do with not identifying a place where you can grow. And like I said at the beginning, it's okay to have these asks when you sit down and meet with someone. But get your ducks in a row and say, listen, is there going to be an opportunity for me to teach students? Is there going to be an opportunity for maybe to do a guest lecture at an esteemed place like Emory Physical Therapy Program? Is there going to be an opportunity maybe for me to go to conferences and network with other people? It's a very broad, a lot of broad questions to ask. And I think, and I always tell anybody this, when people are looking for a job, whether we have one or not, I tell them, come and sit down and interview with me. I may not have a position, but I can be a resource for you and help guide you, because it's a little daunting when you get out there. And I don't want you to make the mistake of saying, wow, this seemed like a good fit, but I didn't ask the right questions. And I can't tell you how many people I have that come interview with me that I feel like we've rescued from maybe a bad situation. I'd rather that than them choose to get out of the profession and go into sales or go into some administration because they were dissatisfied. So hopefully these words, as you go through the program, and I know you're just early, will resonate. I didn't want to talk about clinical skills. I just wanted to talk about attributes that hopefully you possess, that you acquire, and that you recognize how important these are to your future. And when you go in there and you interview and you talk about ownership, accountability, and responsiveness, and you talk about, or you show them your drive and determination, that's going to be the icing on the cake to what is already going to be you coming out with a phenomenal degree from a phenomenal program. So good luck and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tobin, for those inspiring remarks. We are humbled to call you a colleague and grateful for your continued support of Emory's physical therapy program. Now we come to the part of the ceremony you've been eagerly awaiting, that is the presentation of the white coats. I will be assisted in this process by my faculty colleagues, Dr. Ben Rogozinski, Peter Sprague, and DeAndrea Melvey. We would like to have 1 to 2 family members or significant persons in the student's life to have the honor of presenting the white coat to them. The process will work as follows. Dr. Rogozinski will request each row of the students to stand up and line up along the aisle here. Students will follow Dr. Melvey to line up, and their family members should make their way over to pair up with the student. We'll make sure we allot an appropriate amount of time for the family member to meet up with your student, or your family member. Dr. Rogozinski will call the name of the student in order, according to how they appear in the program. The student and guest should walk to the very center of the stage where Dr. Folk will be standing, and the parent can help put the white coat on. As the student-parent pair exit, they will stop at the far end of the stage so our photographer can take a picture, and we will present to you as a gift from the program. This way, family members don't have to rush to take pictures. And at this point, I would like to invite Dr. Rogozinski and Dr. Sprague and Dr. Melvey to please start the white coat ceremony.
Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to invite the first row of students to stand up, line up, as well as the family or friend who will help them with the white coat. Mehdi Alamoud. Ariana Artis. Casey Brown. Hoying Chung. Kyla Coleman. Haley Crow. Tanya Chazar. Brianna Diaz. Melissa Ewan. Matthew Fiesta. Caitlin Garland. Ray Gianetta. Mary Griggers. And I'd like to invite the next row of students and associated guests to line up. Haley Gum. Elise Gupta. Jordan Hadrill. Ariana Herman. Maggie Ho. Kanan Holmes. Brittany Holness. Dwayne Hunter III. Ali Hanzai. Peter Jang. Urim Jung. Manal Kawaja. I'd like to invite the next row of students and associated guests to line up, please. Break this. Broke the podium. Take accountability. Hannah Kim. Annika Coley. Sophie Coy. Emma Kraus. Corey Kumamoto. Caroline Laskin. Nyaria Leach. Jelena Lind. Halak Marfatia. Trelea McCorkle. Kim McCutcheon. Going down. Kendall McDaniel. Ruhi Mehta. Anna Mashar. And I'd like to invite our next row of students and associated guests to line up, please. Good. Carson Olson. Yanji Park. Jasmine Perkins. Andrew Phillips. Imani Pittman. Lizette Redding Agura. Tanisha Reed. Anaya Roberson. Carson Smith. Kenzie Spindler. Cole Spires. Alexia Stee. Ariana Taylor. Nathaniel Trammell. And I would like to ask our last row of students and associated guests to please line up. Prabhuti Vensadia. Faith Wells. Cameron White. Diavion Williams. Yuchen Wu. Amber Wu. Xingyang Zheng. As you're aware, we spend a lot of time together in the summer, and so it's always my pleasure to be here and to be the first to congratulate you on this very important milestone in your graduate school education.
To echo Dr. Rogozinski's words there, congratulations to our class of 2027. Next, I'd like to, echo a little bit the words of Dr. Tovin on the importance of mentors and coaches. So I'd just like to take this moment to acknowledge our amazing faculty here who are your coaches and mentors throughout your time here and hopefully afterwards. So thank you for all you do. So clinical education is an important component of our program, and we couldn't do it without the amazing clinical partners that we have. So I'd like to take this time to let one of our co-directors of clinical education, Dr. Deandra Melvey, come up and present 2 clinical education awards.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to the class of 2027. It is my distinct pleasure to present this year's Clinical Instructor Award. This award recognizes a physical therapist who has gone above and beyond in mentoring our students, ensuring that they receive the highest quality of clinical education. This year, we are proud to honor Dr. Candace James. She has consistently demonstrated exceptional dedication, expertise, and a genuine passion for teaching. Her commitment to patient care and student development has not only set a high standard, but has also inspired our students to strive for excellence in their own practice. The impact Dr. James has made on our students is profound. Through her guidance, she has fostered a learning environment that is both challenging and supportive, encouraging our students to think critically, apply their knowledge, and grow as future professionals. On behalf of our program and the countless students whose lives she has touched, it is my honor to present this award to Dr. Candace James. Congratulations. I am also honored to present this year's Clinical Partner Award. This award is given to an organization that has shown outstanding support and collaboration in advancing the clinical education of our students. This year, we are thrilled to recognize Team Rehab for their exceptional partnership. Team Rehab has been a vital part of our program, consistently providing our students with invaluable opportunities to apply their classroom knowledge in real-world settings. Their commitment to excellence and innovation in clinical education has greatly enhanced our students' learning experiences. The partnership with Teen Rehab has allowed our program to flourish, offering our students exposure to a diverse range of clinical practices and a deep understanding of our profession. The dedication and resources that Teen Rehab has invested in our students' education has truly made a lasting impact. So it is with great appreciation and respect that I present the Clinical Partner Award to Teen Rehab. Unfortunately, the SCCE was not unable to make it here today, but we will accept the award on their behalf.
Congratulations again on being the recipients of the white coats. Congratulations. You should be proud of all that you have accomplished to this point in your journey and celebrate your accomplishments on this important day. We celebrate with you. However, it's important to reflect on the meaning of the white coat and the obligations it brings. Dr. Tobin has provided us an inspirational example of our obligations as doctors of physical therapy. The white coat symbolizes our commitment to the well-being of patients we work with. As healthcare professionals, there will be times when you have to place the needs of your patients above the needs of your own. This is not an easy obligation to fulfill and should not be taken lightly. To remind us of our professional duties, I would like the students, faculty, and any other physical therapists in the audience to please stand. Together, we will recite the principles of the APTA Code of Ethics listed on the back page of your program. These principles will guide you as the practice and art and science of physical therapy. Please recite along with me, starting with Principle 1. Physical therapists shall respect the inherent dignity and rights of all individuals. Physical therapists shall be trustworthy and compassionate in addressing the rights and needs of patients, clients. Physical therapists shall be accountable for making sound professional judgments. Physical therapists shall demonstrate integrity in their relationships with patients, clients, families, colleagues, students, research participants, other healthcare providers, employers, payers, and the public. Physical therapists shall fulfill their legal and professional obligations. Physical therapists shall enhance their expertise through the lifelong acquisition and refinement of knowledge, skills, abilities, and professional behaviors. Physical therapists shall promote organizational behaviors and business practices that benefit patients and clients and society. Physical therapists shall participate in efforts to meet the health needs of people locally, nationally, or globally. Thank you all. Please be seated. Finally, we will recess in order, beginning with the stage party, followed by the faculty, students, and then friends and family. We'd like the students to first assemble on the steps outside the building to take a class picture in your white coats immediately after the ceremony today. And congratulations to you all on this important professional milestone. Congratulations.